Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. Some Pepsi Lime that tastes like Pepsi. Won't lie. There was a Pepsi Lemon that came out a long time ago that I actually loved that haven't come back yet. So I thought maybe Pepsi Lime, which came out a few years ago, would be better. Tastes like Pepsi. Oh, well. It is, what day is it? May 18th, 2024. It's Saturday, 11:08 p.m. here in Reisterstown, Maryland. This is Dylan Knows, episode 554, Upfronts. This week was Upfront week. Was not expecting that until Tuesday when I saw all the news that would popped up about Disney Plus and Netflix and Amazon Prime and network TV and stuff like that. So it's their upfronts for the TV stuff and streaming and so on and so forth. So we'll discuss that, but it's on the tail end of the episode because I do the episode in order with the most recent news at the beginning and heading back to the later news at the tail end of it. So we have some surprising deaths, particularly one big one, a lot of sports news, some science news, trailers, start dates, release dates. 2025 continues to going to be a hugely packed year for movies. A ton of movies is going to be dropped in 2025. I mean, ton of movies due to the whole COVID / strikes / all that stuff. So 2025 has potential to be a pretty good year if a lot of these movies hit. Could also be a break year if they do not. So let's get started here because I am home alone presently. My wife and daughter are camping. My son is at his friend's house. My kitty is causing havoc in the upstairs. So I got to clean all that up after this, and I'm getting kind of tired. So I'm hoping this influx of caffeine from Pepsi can help out, but you can see it doesn't. First, some big news for me. Well, potentially big news. It's not news yet. There's a website I follow on Twitter called Screen Age Wasteland. A couple of friends of mine that I follow on Twitter are also parts of it as well. They've been looking for new writers and content people to come in. So I sent my resume, as it were, writing resume to them via email, and they'll get back to me. Let me know if they want me to write for their website. That's screenagewasteland.com. And you can follow them on Twitter, Screen Age Wasteland. Search for them. You'll find them pretty easily. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. The big news, anyway, because he's a big actor and I helped kind of break the story a little bit. I didn't break it, but I kind of helped expand it a little bit. Character actor Dabney Coleman passed away on Friday at the age of 92. I turned on my my Facebook on Friday morning at about 5:30 when I saw a friend of mine from California announce that Dabney Coleman had died, and then I tried to see if any other major networks had picked it up, and they hadn't, which was really odd. There wasn't anything about him, just the story from my one friend. And then someone else posted an actual Instagram post from a family friend, which made me believe that this was a legit death and not one of these death hoax things. But for the longest time, nothing was posted. And eventually it got posted later in the day on Friday. So it was official. Dabney Coleman passed away. It's age 92. For those who don't know, you would know Dabney Coleman. Dabney Coleman was in a ton of your favorite 1980s films. He mostly played the bad guy. Occasionally, once in a while, might play good guy here and there. But he also did some good TV shows as well. Most people remember him from 9 to 5, where he played the bad guy Franklin Hart, was lying, egotistical, hypocritical bigot. that faces off against Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, and Jane Fonda. He was also in On Golden Pond with Jane Fonda, where he doesn't play an asshole. He was in Dragnet in 1987 with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, where he played like a Hugh Hefner type of porn magazine big guy. He was in Tootsie, the underrated Cloak and Dagger movie. He was in War Games. He played McKittrick. He was kind of a dick, but he also was kind of a good guy. Muppets Take Manhattan, Beverly Hillbillies, You've Got Mail, Inspector Gadget. He also did TV. He did Buffalo Bill, the Slap Max, which was a great series. The Slap Maxwell story, which was also a good story. Was also did the voice of Principal Peter Prickly on Recess. Was also on Boardwalk Empire, and one of his last roles was on Yellowstone. So he had a whole lot of stuff. Some more ideas of some of the films that he's done that you might know of. He was in The Towering Inferno. He was in Midway. He was in North Dallas 40. 95 was his breakout role on Golden Pond, Modern Problems, Young Doctors in Love, Tootsie, War Games, Muppets Take Manhattan, Cloak and Dagger, Man with One Red Shoe, Dragnet, Hot to Trot, Meet the Applegates, Amos and Andrew, Beverly Hillbillies, Clifford, You've Got Mail, Inspector Gadget, Stuart Little, Recess, Moonlight Mile, Where the Red Fern Grows, Domino, and then TV, as I said, he was most famous for, he was in 4 episodes of The Fugitive. Didn't know that. He was most famous for Buffalo Bill and Slap Maxwell, which are 2 shows that I enjoyed immensely, though they only really lasted 1 season. Each was the same. He was in Mary Hartman, all 148 episodes of that. Some 2 episodes of Quincy M.E., 26 episodes of Buffalo Bill, 22 episodes of Slap Maxwell. Drexel's Class, he did 18 episodes of that. Madman of the People, he did 16 episodes of that. The Guardian, which I don't know much about, 2001 through 2004, was in 67 episodes of that. Boardwalk Empire was in 24 episodes of that, and as it was the last one, his final role was as John Dutton Jr. in Yellowstone. So quite a distinguished career. You would know him if you saw him, particularly 9 to 5 is his biggest breakout role, I would think, of all of them. Be the one that he's most known for, probably. So Dabney Coleman passed away at the age of 92. We also lost Tony McFan, stunt double of Chris Pratt. He died at the age of 47. New Wicked trailer came out this week, and it looks very good. Looks epic and epic. And what it's supposed to be for a musical. We get a little bit of music, but mostly it's just the visuals that you get. So you don't really hear a lot of the music. It's more just the visuals and see how it looks to sort of reintroduce Oz to everybody. So that's pretty cool. Seize the Gray won the Preakness this week. So there's no Triple Crown this year. So this year it just seemed like the Preakness is a Baltimore race, and it just seemed like that it was underwhelming here. I hardly heard anything about it. There was no big Preakness events, and I doubt there were times where they had 100,000 to 120,000 people at the Preakness. I highly doubt we probably had that many. I guess COVID maybe screwed that up a little bit, but maybe just horse racing is losing its luster, as is boxing. So who knows? Scream 7 is starting filming in September with Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, directed by the originator of Scream, Kevin Williamson. So could be interesting to see how that all turns out. Excuse me. Look at you do this all day. treat this as like last week I told you, what was the rumor I told you last week about the Captain America show, about him returning the stones. That one seems more of a far-fetched idea. These couple rumors seem a little bit more realistic, and more websites that I trust are picking up the stories. Miss Marvel 2 season 2 appears to be going ahead, as is Hawkeye season 2. And the Nova series seems to be getting a go as well. So we might be seeing these 3 series coming up here for Disney Plus any minute now. Cillian Murphy is officially returning for 28 years later, which actually, coincidentally, will be released on my birthday in 2025, June 20th, 2025, because my birthday will be on a Friday. So that'll just be the first of many movies I'm probably releasing. But yeah, that'll be he's officially returning for 28 years later. Behind the scenes picks for Stranger Things season 5 jumped up on screen recently. A couple interesting little tidbits here and there. Deadpool and Wolverine is said to be 127 minutes, 2 hours and 7 minutes long. So it makes that the longest Deadpool movie yet. Somebody screened Friday the 13th, the original one, on the campground where they filmed the movie. It's very similar to screening Jaws on in a like a lake water area where there are actual fish and stuff like swimming around, and also screening Close Encounters at Devil's Tower. Those types of kind of interesting things as well. Keira Knightley is set to star in an adaptation of The Woman in Cabin 10. Young Sheldon ended its run this week, and the spinoff George and Mandy's First Marriage has been getting a lot of upfront looks since it's coming out in the fall. First teaser trailer for it, which basically reintroduces the love story for these two characters. So nothing really new to report in the show because nothing's been filmed yet. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 is set to debut August 29th on Prime. We get a Season 2 trailer, and again, looks like you expected to. The first Mexican taco stand ever gets a Michelin star, which Michelin is a French restaurant book, which is highly it's really hard to get, highly respected and hard to get into. But this Mexican taco stand in Mexico City has gotten the first ever Michelin star. So that's intriguing. The White Bird trailer starring Gillian Anderson and Helen Mirren. I didn't actually see it, but it is out there. It's apparently, I guess, a movie that has them in it. My Penguin Friend trailer debuted also. It's about a penguin that's being cared for by a human, and it stars Jean Reno. Science. Priya pulida, a type of unsegmented worm, was discovered on the seafloor of Australia this week. And the coelacanth, which has been caught a few times and was thought to be extinct, and it was a fish that was around during the prehistoric times, has officially been photographed live underwater. A diver got an official photograph of a coelacanth underwater swimming around alive, so that's pretty cool if they're still around. Anniversaries. Mount St. Helens blew its top in 1980, 44 years ago today. Actually, this week, I should say. That was May 10th. No, it might have been today. No, it was today. So there's that. Shrek debuted 23 years ago this week. And Minecraft started 15 years ago this week. So there's been lots of celebration for Minecraft, including Jack Black and Jason Momoa playing with Minecraft toys and stuff like that, since they're going to be in the live action Minecraft movie, which will probably be out in 2025, like every goddamn other thing is also. Speaking of that, let's run down all the ones that I have on this page here. Where is it? Black Phone 2 is set to debut October 17th, 2025. I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot is set to debut July 18th, 2025. Mm. How to show ones on here. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is set to debut December 5th, 2025. Blade to release November 7th, 2025. That's it for all the 2025s on this page. And there's a few other ones elsewhere. Terminator Zero, a Netflix anime based on the Terminator world, has an 8-episode series set to debut on August 29th of this year. But what's interesting about that is for Terminator fans, people know that August 29th is Judgment Day, or was Judgment Day in the movie. So it's kind of funny that they're releasing it then. Kevin Costner's new Western, which I'm really excited for, Horizon, released a new trailer this week as well. And pretty much the same old stuff that we've seen before. So we're getting a general idea of what we're going to be looking at. There's some new footage in there. But it's a hardcore Western 2-part movie, so it should be interesting. Austin Butler is eyed for playing the role for, not playing the role, but is eyed for being in the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, so he'll be potentially be involved with that. Chris Hemsworth has gone off on Scorsese and Coppola after they rebuked and complained about comic book movies. Chris Hemsworth made a perfect recovery to him and kind of pissed him off that happened. Pissed me off also. So good for him. That's good. Adam Driver, Tom Waits, Kate Blanchett, Mayim Bialik, Charlotte Rampling joined Jim Jarmusch's new film, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. Pretty interesting cast there. Shogun, I announced Shogun Season 2 was coming out, and I have no idea why there is one, because Shogun was Jim Clavell's one-time book. There was no sequel, and that was what the first season of Shogun was. But apparently because it's so good, they decided we need to have more. So I guess they're going to come up with original stuff. But they've not stopped at Season 2. They've now also gone on to say there's going to be a Season 3 also. So what? That's all I have to say about that. Silk Spider Society, a Spider-Man TV show concocted by Amazon Prime, has been canceled after the disastrous Madam Web box office. But maybe they jumped the gun a little too much, as most people do now, because Madam Web dropped on Netflix May 14th. Still haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. And became a huge hit on Netflix. Surprise. Morons. So maybe you should, not rebuke movies, because, a lot of people probably don't want to go to the movie theater to see them. But if you would put it on streaming, it would be huge. Whatever. What else we got here? Dune Prophecy prequel series on Max released a trailer, and South Korean actress Ji-hye has joined the cast as well. Sports. Texas barbecue brisket Pringles is a new flavor, which sounds very interesting. It is out there now, which means we're probably never going to see it, because we never really get to see it. It Ends With Us trailer, Blake Lively, romantic drama set to debut August 9th. Based on a well-loved novel, it appears. But from what I got from the trailer, it's basically about a woman who opens her own flower shop and then gets involved in an abusive relationship and tries to get out of it and ends up falling for another guy who's a good guy, sort of thing. So typical sort of romantic drama sort of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Fawlty Towers, the classic John Cleese British sitcom, is getting the stage treatment. A stage farce, off-Broadway sort of thing, is happening right now. So pretty good about that. Artist Kevin McGuire has created a character called Tanga for DC. DC barely used Tanga, so Kevin McGuire successfully got her back and is now self-publishing her and owns the rights to the character as well now. So good for him to do that. John Malkovich and Natasha Lyonne have joined the cast of the Fantastic Four. And in unannounced roles, no one knows what their roles are yet. The biggest prediction is that Natasha Lyonne's character is probably going to play Alicia, the Thing's blind girlfriend. And some people have started to believe that John Malkovich may actually be playing Dr. Doom. So we will find out how that all works out. Next year, about 1 year from now, 1 year from July, we'll find out. Which means they got to start filming this movie like yesterday, but we'll see. They'll get to it eventually. A bunch of upfronts. Squid Game season. This is all from the upfronts story. As I said, we're going to have a bunch here and a bunch all through the rest of the show. Upfronts. Squid Game season 2 is set for December 2024. So you'll see your Squid Game at the end of the year, the last quarter of the year. Kristen Bell and Adam Brody are set to team up for a Netflix comedy series called Nobody Wants This, debuting in the fall on September 26th on Netflix, 10 episodes. Tariq El Moussa and Christina Hall, who were a married couple doing a home and garden show, and then they got divorced, are reteaming for a new home and garden show 6 years after their divorce. So, okay. Will Sasso and Rachel Bay Jones have joined the cast of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, reprising their roles as Mandy's parents. So that was announced this week officially. Science, a cotton candy exoplanet has been discovered. It is the second lightest planet that has been discovered. It is a immensely light, fluffy, pink-colored sort of planet that is intriguing, but it is a very, very light, probably gaseous. That's why planet with no real rocky core to it. So that's a pretty cool discovery. Sports. Some interesting sports stuff happened this week. First up, a lucky fan had 2 foul balls hit to him back to back in a baseball game. That has a 0.00001 chance of happening, and yet it happened because it was on video and we saw it. It was pretty cool. The game on Wednesday for the Baltimore Orioles getaway game with the Toronto Blue Jays, the Orioles had a leadoff home run by the leadoff hitter, Jordan Westberg. And then the Orioles just could not get anything done, and we're on the verge of losing 2-1, getting to the bottom of the 9th inning, when Adley Rutschman hit a 2-run homer to end the game. Now, this event has only happened 3 other times in baseball where a team has led off with a home run and ended the game with a walk-off home run. And all the times it happened, there is an interesting connection to the Orioles. In 1969, the Mets had a player as a team. They had a game where they did that, and the Mets ended up beating the Orioles in the World Series that year. 1971, the Oakland Athletics at the time did it, and they made the playoffs that year and played the Baltimore Orioles, who end up beating them and going to the World Series, which they end up losing. And then in 1983, the Philadelphia Phillies did it. Again, 1983, the Phillies played the Orioles in the World Series. The Orioles won that one, though. That was the last time the Orioles were in the World Series. So 3 times it's happened. 3 times there's a weird connection to the Orioles, and then the Orioles actually did it. So does that mean the Orioles might make it to the World Series this year? Only time will tell, so we'll find out. A day that all NFL fans have been looking forward to finally happened as the NFL dropped the 2024 NFL schedule. And it's a pretty decent one. Yeah, all of them listed. Do they have them all listed? Yep, they do. Okay. So the Ravens, real quick, this is my team. Step back Okay, here we go. We're playing the Eagles in preseason, the Falcons in preseason, and the Packers in preseason. They opening the season against the Chiefs on opening night, September 5th at 8:20 p.m. in Kansas City. Then the next game they play is their home opener on September 15th against the Raiders at 1 p.m. Then they travel to Dallas for a national Sunday game at 4:25 p.m. on September 22nd. Then the Bills come to Baltimore for a Sunday night football game on September 29th. The Ravens then travel to Cincinnati to play the Bengals on October 6th. The Washington Commanders come to Baltimore October 13th for a 1 o'clock game. The Ravens then travel to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, October 21st. The Ravens also then go to Cleveland to play the Browns on October 27th at 1 p.m. The Broncos then come to Baltimore to play the Ravens on November 3rd at 1 p.m. The Bengals come to Baltimore on November 7th to play them on a Thursday night game at 8:15 p.m. The Ravens go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers on November 17th. The Ravens go to Los Angeles for Hardball Bowl 3, a Monday night game on November 25th, 8:15, which is the Monday before Thanksgiving. The Eagles come to town December 1st with a national game to come to Baltimore with a Sunday national game at 4:25 p.m., December 1st. When I say Sunday national game, it means that if your team is not playing at 4 o'clock, you will get this game on your TV. So that's what I mean by that. The Ravens then head to New York to play the Giants on December 15th at 1 p.m. Oh, their bye week is in there. I'm sorry, December 8th is their bye, and that's week 14. And there's an interesting thing about that. The last time the Ravens had a week 14 bye was 24 years ago when they won the Super Bowl in 2000. So it's a good sign. December 15th, they go to New York to play the Giants at 1 p.m. Steelers come to Baltimore on Saturday, December 21st at 4:30 p.m., Saturday before Christmas. The Ravens then go to Houston on Christmas Day. Now, what's interesting about that, that's the second year in a row they played on Christmas Day. Away on Christmas Day, I should say. They're playing at 4:30 p.m., which is the second game on Christmas Day. Christmas Day is on a Wednesday this year, and the game will be on Netflix. The Chiefs will be playing the Steelers in the 1 o'clock game on December 25th. Now, what's interesting about that is the Steelers and Ravens are playing Saturday night, as are the Chiefs and the Texans. They're playing on Saturday as well. So it's going to be like a regular Thursday thing since they're playing on Wednesday. They're all playing on Saturday. So, yes, Ravens have a second in a row Christmas Day game away, but it's on Netflix this year, so that should be interesting. And we end the season at home against the Browns on January 5th, and who knows when that one is going to air. So that is the Ravens schedule. So pretty decent. Had a number of preseason games and a number of important national games. And a couple of really good, important Sunday games. So that's pretty cool. So that's the NFL schedule. Looks pretty good. And we'll find out what happens. Deaths: Earl Edwards, NFL tackle and CFL player, died at the age of 78. Darren Dutchison, an ESPN host, died this week as well. Any more deaths? Nope. Anniversaries. The movie Friday came out 29 years ago this week. Godzilla 2014, the first movie in the Monsterverse saga, debuted 10 years ago this week. And Mulholland Drive, David Lynch's fever dream sexy film, debuted 23 years ago this week. All right. Next up, Glenn Powell's parents totally roast him on the red carpet. I guess he was doing the red carpet for a movie, and his parents were holding up signs that says, "Stop making Glenn Powell a thing. He's not going to make it," sort of thing. It's freaking hilarious trolling by his parents. Amazon has, these are upfronts, I think. Upfronts. Yep. Amazon has renewed Mr. and Mrs. Smith for a second season. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the actor and actress who play them, will not be participating in it. What the hell? No idea. Other upfronts. Daredevil Born Again is set to debut in March 2025. That's right, it's March 2025, and be 9 episodes. Back in action, Cameron Diaz's return to the movies with Jamie Foxx is set to debut on Netflix November 15th. Kate Hudson is set to star in a Netflix show called Running Point, about the written by Mandy Kaling and set in the world of sports. Happy Gilmore 2 is set to premiere on Netflix probably next year because they haven't made it yet. Will Ferrell is set to star in his first ever TV show. That doesn't include Saturday Night Live, I should say, called Golf. It's for Netflix, where it's going to be 10 episodes, and he plays a golf legend. The Lioness has been renewed for a second season at Paramount Plus. That was also part of the upfronts. And Jake Gyllenhaal has announced that Roadhouse 2 will be in the works right now. Also, these were debuted at upfronts as well. Weapon, the Barbarian director's new film, gets a January 2026 release. Wolf Lord, I guess, I'll say Wolf Lord. Pierce Brosnan is set to star in a werewolf picture that will be directed by his son. Blue Moon has created a boozy ice cream. Buffy the Vampire Slayer has released a set of cosmetics. It's interesting. Nemo becomes the first non-binary person to win Eurovision. So congratulations to Nemo. I don't know what country they are from, but there they are. Tom King and Jeff Spokes are set to bring back Jenny Sparks to comics. Bratz, Andrew McCarthy's documentary about the Brat Pack is set to debut on Hulu on June 13th of this year. George Miller, the director of Furiosa, which stars Chris Hemsworth, said that he would be up for directing Thor 5 if asked, and I think that'd be a brilliant idea. Donnie Yen is set to star in a John Wick spinoff called Kane. Tim McGraw, the star in a must have been up front also. Tim McGraw to star in a Netflix series set in the fierce competitive world of bull riding, which I actually shouldn't make fun of because my son and I went to, I want to say it was Green Turtle. It was either Green Turtle or it was, I think it was Green Turtle. It would have to be Green Turtle. So we went to the Green Turtle and we were watching bull riding. We kind of got into it a little bit. It was kind of interesting, but it's just funny that they described it as the fierce competitive world of bull riding. So that's interesting. Danny DeVito would like to voice Wario in the Mario Brothers sequel that is upcoming. Keanu Reeves, Kirsten Dunst, and Daniel Bruhl are set to star in the bizarre film The Entertainment System is Down. The initial storyline about it appears to be that it takes place on an airplane where all the entertainment devices do not work, so they have to entertain themselves. That doesn't really sound like a too interesting movie, but it's got interesting people in it, so we'll see if it actually works out pretty good. First look at Pyramid Head and the return to Silent Hill. We got that as well. Three Body Problem, I guess is another upfronts, has been renewed for a second season. This must be upfronts also. Lacey Chabray, known for, I think it was A Party of Five, and she's done some other stuff in the early days, is set to star in a new Netflix Christmas movie called Hot Frosty. It's a rom-com, obviously, but what's interesting about that is that Lacey Chabray is the queen of Hallmark Christmas movies, and she's signing on to a Netflix one, so that's kind of intriguing. So we will see what comes of that, but that'll probably be out. It could be out by Christmas. Locally, 19.64 inches of rain have fallen in Baltimore since January 1st. And 15 of 19 weekends this year it has rained. And half of those, or probably majority of those, my family was camping. We had rain this weekend also. In stories of it's not legislation, but of special interest to me and my friends Patrick Gibbs and Eric Magnuson, Fallout star Ella Purnell is set to star in The Scurry, a horror comedy about a killer band of squirrels. 1993. Last year, I did a whole episode celebrating the 30th anniversary of the making of the Squirrel movie from myself, Patrick Gibbs, and Eric Magnuson about a killer squirrel who attacks our friends. Now, here we are, 31 years later, and a movie is being made about our idea, except this is a pack of squirrels instead of just one. Time for us to put into motion some suing thing, and maybe we're going to sue their asses and we'll win and we'll get involved with that. So we'll see. Yeah, we're not going to sue. It's a joke. Come on, people, relax. But we did make a squirrel movie, though, so. The Shroud, a Cronenberg's newest film, debuted their trailer. I'm not a big fan of Cronenberg or those types of films, so I didn't watch it, but you might like it, so there you go. Video games, Dead by Daylight is set to get a D&D crossover, and Fortnite's new season starts next Friday. It is going to be a desolate, I forget what it's called. They've already released the name of the new season. It's called Wrecked, I think. And it's going to be a post-apocalyptic world season of Fortnite. And it's also going to include a crossover with Fallout. So we'll see how that works out. I'm still looking for my Doctor Who crossover, people. Come on, you announced it last year and haven't done jack or shit about it. So let's get on that, please, because that'd be great. I love a TARDIS glider with the TARDIS noises. Every single Doctor Who skin comes out. That'd be awesome. Anniversaries. Mad Max Fury Road came out 9 years ago this week. Furiosa came out this week as well. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, debuted 22 years ago this week. Yippee. One of my least favorite movies. It's half of a good movie. The other half sucks ass. That's just me, though. Let's see, am I missing anything else before I hit the death? And the big death, another big death this week is comic book artist Don Perlin, co-creator of Moon Knight and Bloodshot, and had big runs on Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, Defenders, and I think he was also an artist on the Transformers comic when that first came out, also through Marvel. He died at the age of 94. Got another page and a half, so I might finish this one again early too. Got it down pat. Percy Jackson has started filming season 2 this week, so that's good to hear. Excited for that. Was there anything else that has started filming? Not filming right now. Edgar Wright is back in talks to direct the luscious Sydney Sweeney in the remake of Barbarella, which would be outstanding, particularly with Sydney Sweeney in it. Not the biggest Edgar Wright fan, but it was when this was first brought up a couple years ago. Edgar Wright was the first person involved with it, and then he disappeared, and it was just Sydney Sweeney. But now it's starting to get, after Sydney's big year so far, it's starting to get traction again, and Edgar Wright is apparently starting to be available. Upfronts, it is official. Nicolas Cage is officially cast in the Spider Noir live action series that Amazon Prime is going to do. He was the voice of him in the Spider-Verse movie, so now we're going to get a live action version of him. Cross Season 1 trailer from Amazon. Also, the Upfronts came up this week. Aldous Hodge from Leverage plays the popular James Patterson character in a new TV series. The Great North. I thought that this film, that TV show was no longer around, but is getting a 5th season. Did not know that. Legally Blonde Prime series has been picked up for a series, so we'll see that as well. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Her Tomb Raider show has also been picked up by Amazon as well. These are all on upfronts. Ironheart is set to debut in 2025. And Agatha All Along, the Agatha Harkness series we've all been waiting for, is set to debut this year, November 18th, 2024, with 2 episodes. So that's going to be awesome. Mortal Kombat 2 is set to debut October 24th, 2025, continuing the 2025 craziness. And Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is also up front, was set to debut on June 26, 2026. You're cordially invited. January 30th, 2025 on Prime has Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon in looks like some kind of romantic comedy sort of thing about 2 separate families whose weddings were double booked at this hotel, and it can only really do one of them, so it becomes a competition between the 2 of them. The newest video game trend is to reset all their popular series. We're getting a new Silent Hill. We're getting, I think, a new Smash Bros. 1 or something like that. Resident Evil 1 is set to debut in 2026. Melissa McCarthy has joined the cast of Only Murders in the Building, Season 4. House of Dragons Season 2 trailer. Newest trailer was released this week. Mahershala Ali and Tom Hardy are set to debut in Cary Fukunaga's thriller 77 Blackout, which seems to be about the 1977 New York blackout. Jason Kelce is set to join Monday Night Football Countdown to be in studio and not on location. New metrics show that Echo was a huge hit for Disney Plus, and Percy Jackson was the biggest hit of the year for Disney Plus. So congratulations to that. Fubar, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Netflix action comedy series, getting a season 2, has added Carrie-Anne Moss, which is a good casting there. Phoebe Dunier to star in Shark Movie from Violent Night director. The Boys is set to get a 5th season, which I think I already knew about, but they re-released it as well. Gerard Butler is cast in the comedic action thriller Empire State. I think I talked about that one before also. The Latency trailer came out June 14th. Don't know much about Latency, but it's a thing. I really couldn't care less about it, so I didn't watch it. So that's just me. But if you like it, there you go. Chips Ahoy S'mores cookies are out on shelves now. Yacht was sunk by orcas again. This was a big problem last year, and apparently the orcas are back at it this year. So yachting season could be tough for yachters. Yippee. One of the more interesting art things that came up recently was a portal connecting New York City and Dublin, Ireland. So basically the portal was a giant, almost Stargate looking thing in the middle of New York, which is projecting views from Dublin, who also has one of these portals, which is projecting views from that area in New York. So people could sit and chat through this portal, which is really kind of neat to see that from between New York and Dublin. However, because we are stupid and can't have anything nice, all kinds of stupid shit started happening, and they had to shut down the portal till they figure out how they're going to secure it a bit better. Things that happened included a person in Dublin, I believe, posting a picture or holding up a picture of 9/11, which is not cool because that happened in New York, and a woman in New York flashing her tits to the people in Dublin. So there are a few other things as well, but it was a neat idea. It's just human beings are stupid fucks, and they can't have anything nice. They got to do stupid shit like this all the time to shut down cool, neat things. And the human race is a fucking nightmare right now. And I don't know how much more of this I can handle. It's getting harder and harder every day to keep upbeat and crazy about all this shit because of all this bullshit. And this is just more proof that we are fucking terrible beings. Last week I told you that Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max are joining forces to create a new bundle. Well, apparently now, not to be outdone, Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock are teaming up under Comcast as a bundle. I don't know if you need to have Comcast to get this bundle, or Comcast is just the one that is promoting it. I'm not sure. So, whatevs. Deaths. David Sanborn, well-loved saxophonist for most of the 80s and 90s, passed away this week. Alice Munro, Nobel Literature winner, died at the age of 92. Bill Friday, a hockey ref, died at the age of 91. That's it for deaths. Anniversaries. Conan the Barbarian debuted 42 years ago this week in 1982. Troy debuted 20 years ago this week. That's Brad Pitt on Bloom. I think it was Oliver Bloom. Orlando Bloom. That's what it was. About the Trojan War, which Orlando Bloom says was an embarrassing movie to make. I think it was Wolfgang Peterson, I think, directed that. And Reveal, the REM Summer album, debuted 23 years ago this week. I'm finding myself more and more enjoying Reveal a lot more than a lot of people have. There's some really good stuff on there, and it's a kind of a weird, unique sort of REM album, but it's still pretty interesting, and there's some good stuff on it. And it is the summer album because a majority of songs have a summer theme to it, so it's pretty cool. I don't think it was deliberate from what I've heard, but still, that's what it turned out to be. That'll be the last story. All right. We're on the last half page now, so we're going to have another under-hour episode. Perry Gilpin has become a regular on Frasier season 2. She made an appearance last season in a one-off, but they liked her. She liked it, so she's now back on the cast. Pitch Perfect 4 is set it to be in production right now. We're not in pre-production right now, so we'll see what happens. As I said later, 28 years later, set debut on June 20th, 2025. A picture of a smiling, happy bear looking over Pasadena has gone viral this week. I guess it's next year, 75, I guess. And I always thought it was 76, but 1975 was when Saturday Night Live debuted. Next year will be the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, and Lorne Michaels has announced that they will be doing a live 50th anniversary special, 2-hour special, on a Sunday night. So it'll be a primetime special live celebrating the 50 years of Saturday Night Live. I'm assuming since they're doing it now and the 50th anniversary will be sometime in mid-2025, could be fall 2025, they're going to try their damnedest to get as many cast members back as they can. They're probably going to be doing some sort of in memoriam for the actors and actresses who passed away during this time. There's a lot of them, so you can do a lot of them like that. They're going to try to probably get Eddie Murphy back, and Will Ferrell back, and Mike Myers, and Adam Sandler, and they're going to try to. I would assume they're going to try to get as many people as they can back, and who knows, maybe even bring in some of the hosts who've been there a lot: Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin, so on and so forth. So, should be interesting to see. That'll probably be a big deal when that comes out. But don't look for it anytime soon, since the 50th anniversary is not literally till next fall. So I doubt they'll do it early in the 2025 because you probably want to do it closer to the actual anniversary of the release date, which I believe, what I recall, was in September. So we'll see about that. Sum 41, a band I really don't know much about, but it's been around since 1995, has decided to call it a day, call it a career. They're going to be doing one last show set January 30th, 2025. And after they do that show, they will be disbanding. So congratulations to them. Some last upfront stuff. Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun is set to join a new Netflix comedy from Chuck Lorre. Didn't know he was doing one, but there you go. Megalopolis trailer debuted this week. It looks like a weird little movie, and it had its premiere at Cannes and got a mixed reaction. Some people hated it, some people liked it, so it's going to be one of these bizarre little movies. Honestly, it doesn't look like anything really exciting to me, so oh well. Oregon Trail has a Funko Pop coming out, which is really kind of neat. It's the Funko Pop is of the covered wagon, so I think that's kind of neat. Steve Buscemi was assaulted on the street, punched in the face on the streets of New York. He's doing fine right now, but still, it's kind of rude and no reason for it because Steve Buscemi is actually one of the nice guys. Before I do the last story of the week, death. Mark Wells, a member of the 1980s U.S. hockey team that beat the Russians, died literally today, about an hour before I did the show. Anniversaries. The Crow debuted 30 years ago this week. 30 Days of Night debuted 17 years ago this week. Marvel Secret Wars #1, the 12-issue miniseries written by Jim Shooter with art by Mike Zeck, debuted its #1 issue 40 years ago this week. It was an amazing comic. I enjoyed it. I loved how Marvel set it up. It was great. Detective Pikachu debuted 5 years ago this week. So the final story this week in this, again, short episode of Dylan Knows. Punxsutawney Phil, the good old groundhog from Groundhog Day himself, and his mate Phyllis are now parents to two lovely baby groundhogs named Shadow and Sunny. So congratulations to Punxsutawney, Phil, and Phyllis. Congratulations and good job, Shadow and Sunny. That is it for this week. Next weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so I got a 3-day weekend. It's pretty much a full free weekend for everybody, so my family will all be here. Potentially maybe getting new phones. My mom will be in town to visit, so we'll have her over for a barbecue, and we get a 3-day weekend and a 4-day work week leading to the beginning of June, which is next weekend. So this week coming up, nothing exciting I could think of. So official Star Wars Day is May 25th. That's coming up sooner than later, I think, because today's the 18th. That's 1 week from today. So we'll see what happens. So I'll be doing this show probably the usual Saturday because we've got nothing going on next weekend. By the way, my son did get accepted into the Irvine Counselors in Training program, so that's good for him. Congratulations to that. And my daughter's date went off without a hitch on this past Tuesday. We had an election day here, and our election day was here for primaries in Maryland on May 14th. And David Trone, who was trying to be the great white savior, but was a asshole who gave money to right-wing extremists and was going to be one of these Trumpers who goes in as a Democrat so that the Democrats think that they have the majority and switches all his votes to Republicans, so they don't. He got defeated by a true Democrat, so a black woman, which is great. Donald Trump won the Republican primary here, but he still lost 20% of the vote to someone who was not even in the race. And even more people didn't even vote for him. So, yeah. So, Good times here. That is it I have for today's Dylan Knows. I guess these ones are getting shorter because I'm getting older and I'm getting more tired doing them. So I haven't hit an hour in a little bit. So, see, last time I hit an hour was way back on episode 552. So that wasn't that far away, 2 episodes ago. So there we go. Last week's episode was 58 minutes, 16 seconds. This one appears to be less than that. It'll be 55 some seconds. 55 minutes, I should say, in some seconds. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. I'll let you know about my Screen Age Wasteland stuff next week. As I said, nothing else going up. It will be Memorial Day weekend next weekend. So the official kickoff of summer, I guess, if you want to go for that, pools opening and so on and so forth. We're looking at, it's going to be a good weekend. Yep, going to be a great weekend. Friday, 76, Saturday, 76, Sunday, 76, all partly sunny to cloudy. So no rain. Only rain in the forecast is set for Thursday. Said to be 74, 75, 79, 83, 81, 76, 76, 76, 76. So warmish week this week, but no more rain appears to be in the forecast anytime soon. So all the rain is around us and not near us. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm going to head out now. I was able to push to 56 minutes, but I am now tired. And I'm probably going to go to bed here soon. And then my family's coming home. I get my son. It's Community Day tomorrow. Bond Sweet, a lesser known Pokemon, is the Pokemon Do It. I've never done it before, so they've never done a community day for them. So it's where you don't see all that often. So it'd be nice to see them. All right, I'm officially done talking now. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you next weekend for Memorial Day weekend. All right, see you. Bye.